All right, everybody, last regular season game in the One Volleyball Premier League Toronto. It's the Magna Spartans taking on the Beach Hops, formerly known as Bounce United. Also, technically, our defending champions. Beach Hops are on 7 points, Magna Spartans on 6. So really all to play for, looking for that third seed. One set worth 1 point, second set worth 2 points, and the third set is worth 3 points. Beach is still without Steve Hunt, very influential player. Looking at the Magna Spartans, there's Tyler Motherwell, Luke Sim, Oleg Kovalchuk, Matt Powell, Andrew Dubé, and then Anthony DeGirolamo. Over on the Beach Hops, starting things off, Alexa Miladinovich, the setter. Terrell Bramwell's out there. Trevor McLaughlin's out there. Grant Lynch. James Battison. And then number 3 is Yasmin Kull. Jeremy Fanton, the libero tonight, getting ready to check in here once we set everything up. And it looks like it is going to be the Beach Hops getting things started. And Miladinovich back to serve. Once we get everything kosher, ready to go, and there's Miladinovich to serve. Floats this one. DeGirolamo sets to the near side, and the first point of the match goes to Andrew Dubé and the Magna Spartans. And it'll be the setter DeGirolamo to serve. 6'1" setter out of Windsor. He brings a spin serve, but it goes right into the net. Yasmin Kull back to serve. He's played in several continents professionally, all over the world, in Asia and Europe. Set on the attack. Beach Hops in transition with the first point in that way, and it's McLaughlin who knocks it down. Mohawk College, the outside hitter, with the Yasmin Kull again. Listen to this list of where he's been able to go thanks to volleyball. Germany, Thailand, the Czech Republic, Greece, Lebanon, Croatia, Indonesia, and the Netherlands. Whenever I see the Czech Republic, I keep wondering, when are we actually going to start calling it Czechia? Just as an aside, as Kull puts up an ace, and the Beach Hops with an early 3-1 lead. Kull goes cross court. Had to get down on that one. Powell will just sort of throw it into the block. We'll try again. Dubé this time off the block. Out of bounds. Point for the Spartans. Back to a 1-point game. And it's Dubé. Floats this one cross court into the back row for an ace. Dubé has all of the scoring so far for the Magnus Spartans. Overpass, Powell there. Looks like there is a net violation, and the Spartans starting to roll here. All started with that nice serve from Dubé, the overpass. Powell was there, and as I say that though, serve goes into the net. Battiston to serve. Battiston. Another one who's played professionally. He's also been on the beach. Spins this serve wide though. Change coming in. Chris McLaughlin into the game. He takes Tyler Motherwell's place. McLaughlin, Ryerson. A quick set right down the middle. That's Grant Lynch tying this up once again. Two evenly matched teams battling for that third seed overall. And it's Bramwell to serve. Spent some time with the B national team. He spins that serve well long though. Mentioned that national B team experience. Joey Jarvis, who was in the league last year, getting some time down with the B team this year. Both sides with the 2 service errors each. Kovalchuk. Quick set. We'll get another crack at it. Fanton sets to that far side. Powell pokes it back over. Quick set. Right down to the floor. Grant Lynch again. And it's Trevor McLaughlin to serve. This game tied at 6. Powell getting there. The set goes back to Powell. He goes cross court. Spins it long though.
7-6 B-Chops.
And it's the B-Chops jumping back in front here. McLaughlin went to Mohawk College. Shoots the set over. The bump set right there, and Cull hammers it to the floor. And it's a timeout for the Spartans. Gifted there. The set was sort of shot right across the net. Nobody was really there to finish it, so it ended up being a free ball, but it was right in Yasmin Cull's wheelhouse. Each side with an ace so far. Each side has 3 points off errors. But it's the Beaches with 4-2 in the advantage on the attacking points, and that's where we stand 8-6 here in the first set. Anything can happen in the playoffs, as we saw last year, where Bounce United were not the seeded team, and they went on to win it. And it's McLaughlin again. We'll see if they can ice the server. Huge serve from him. And an ace. And it's 9-6 with the B-Chops pulling away a little bit. Like I said this last week, very happy that Beaches Brewing is sponsoring a team. It's another one of the many breweries that calls the East End of Toronto home. McLaughlin into the net. And it's 7-9 for Magnus. Matt Powell serving out of Saskatchewan. And he'll point to that ace. Catches the tape down to the floor. And it's a 1-point game. See if he can do it again. Not this time, but another booming serve. Bramwell's going to have to bring the bump set to Cull. Rolls it over. Chance in transition. Kovalchuk. Right at the net. Sim. Bramwell's there. This time the pass comes to Bramwell. Great rally. The set to the back row, just going to be a free ball. The set's to Call, cross court and in. Lovely point. And it's 10-8 for Beach Hops, and it's Grant Lynch back to serve. Quick sets to Sim. It's wide and no touch, so it's 11-8 for the Beach Hops. Sim missed a lot of time last year with an injury. Remember, he was in a walking boot most of the season, if not all of it. And Lynch floats this one. The set to Dubé. And then DeGirolamo goes long, and the mistakes are piling up here for the Spartans. And it's going to be a timeout. You might have just heard that. Madawaska will be first seed next Wednesday in the semifinal at Kerr Hall. And they'll play the loser of this one. The winner of this one will play Soul Machine Thursday up at York. I'll have the call next Wednesday night at Kerr Hall. And Lynch floats this one into the net, so the timeout does its job. Tyler Motherwell back in. Chris McLaughlin's out, and it's Sim to serve. The set. Bramwell in the back row, off the hands, picks up the point. It's going to be Miladinovich, the setter, to serve this one. Never on course, right into the middle of the net. You want that one back, and the Spartans have a chance to close the gap here, down 13-10 in the first set. And then an over bump. The set is to Dubé, has to check his run a little bit. This time, Battiston on the quick set, can't finish. A little bit scrappy. Out of system here. Back row, McLaughlin. And there's one back for Magnus. DeGirolamo looking to close things up further. Not that way, though. Brings up set point. 14-11. Yasmin Kal, chance to finish it. CCAA Men's Volleyball Player of the Year in his time at Mohawk. And that's not how you do it. And remember, side-out scoring now, so you can only score when on serve. The Beach Hops call timeout, 14-11, just as Andrew Dubé was ready to go back to serve. Here we are out of timeout. Dubé with the serve. The set to Bramwell. Oh my. Not much you can do on that one with that kind of oomph behind that attack. And it's another set point with Banniston to serve it. Very shiny blue shoes. Floats this one long. Sim to it. Sets to Kovalchuk. He can bring it. And indeed he did. And Magnus will get it right back. Never say die in this one. Down 3 sets. There are 3 points rather. Hoping to close this one back up. Set. Free ball. McLaughlin puts it over. De Girolamo to the back row. Dubé down the pipe. Right there is Bramwell. 1-on-1, and now Bramwell, after that, has a chance to finish this one off. We'll see if he is able to do what others have not been able to do. Big serve from him. That might do it. No, good save. Free ball, though. The set goes to McLaughlin. Kovalchuk is there, though. Gets the one hand to it and finds its way to the floor. Now Kovalchuk. He can bring it too. Big spin serve. Almost an overpass. Milutinovic sets to McLaughlin. The block is there. Did it get over? No, it went around the antenna. Great effort by McLaughlin. And there's one back. There's a brief argument. They thought someone came over the net to interfere. I think it was Milutinovic, but it wasn't given. And the Beach Chops calling a timeout with it 14-12. Out of the timeout, Spartans inching their way back into this one. Still a 2-point game. Spin serve from him. Is it enough? No, but they do get the chance in transition. The sets to Sam Hammer to the floor. And it is now a 1-point game. Magnus Spartans showing some heart and some fight. And Kovalchuk, can he do it again? He gets it in. The set comes to Bramwell, cross court. Good reflexes to keep it going. And then the setter dump by Milutinovic. You don't see it often, but when it's pulled off well, it's done very well. The pass was high. It was close to the net. Milutinovic could have potentially sort of leaned close to the net, but he went for the cheeky move. I always love the setter dumps. De Girolamo sets to Powell off the block and out of bounds, and the Spartans another chance to close the gap. It's be Powell himself to serve. Sets to Cull. Into the antenna, and it's a tie game. This one is going to go on, I think, for quite a while. Change coming for Beaches. Andrew Shotbolt into the game. James Banniston coming out. Shotbolt went to York. Powell, ace! And now it's set point for Magnus. What a comeback. Banniston's coming back in. Can he do it again? Not quite. Bramwell gets down for the dig. Almost saved it that time, Powell. But Bramwell on the attack. Powell, couple of aces today. Great service game from him. It's Grant Lynch, his team now trailing 15-14. Of course, you have to win by 2. Sets to Dubé, the tip. Confusion. Miladinovich, the bump set's going to be a free ball. Players tripping all over each other. DeGirolamo sets to Dubé, into the block. And we are tied again at 15. Imagine, they were literally falling all over each other, and they rallied to get the point. We are tied at 15. There's some squeakiness on the floor. When these two teams met June 13th, it was Beaches winning it. This time the sets to Sim. Puts it off the block and down to the floor. In that one, back at Kerr Hall, which is where we'll be Wednesday night. It was 15-11 Beaches, 15-13 Beaches, and then the Spartans won the last set, 15-13, but it went to points overall. Sets to Bramwell, the poke. Sim gets down for the dig. This time on transition. Scrappy, gonna get another crack at it. Powell, DeGirolamo tries the setter dump. Net violation. They thought they had it. Thought he pulled it off for a minute. Maybe they thought the cheer would convince the ref, but not fooling him. It's Miladinovich for Beaches. Bump set. Dubé. That's off the antenna. And now it's Beach Hops with the set point. 16-15. Wow. What a first set. And an ace to finish it off the tape. Thought they had it early. They let Magnus back in, but then they rally to finish first set 17-15 Beach Hops. It's going to switch sides, and then the second set coming right up. Semifinals coming up next week at Kerr Hall next Wednesday night. And then Thursday night up at York University. So if you're in the area, drop on by. If you can't, don't worry. Tune in here. You'll have me Wednesday night, and you'll have Chris McKee on the call on Thursday. Here we go. There's Dubé, DeGirolamo, Matt Powell, Tyler Motherwell, Luke Sim, and Oleg Kovalchuk. Out for Magnus, Alexa Miladinovich, James Battison, Yasmin Cull, Terrell Bramwell, Grant Lynch, Trevor McLaughlin, and Jeremy Fanton. The libero checks in for Lynch. Look at the scoring in the first set. For Beaches, 4 aces, 9 on the attack, 2 blocks, and 2 going down to errors. The Spartans, 3 aces, 7 on the attack, 2 blocks, and 3 on errors. And it's going to be DeGirolamo back to serve. Two errors in his 3 serves in the first set, but he brings that hard serve, and that time it pays off. And it's an ace for the first point. On the attack, off the block, out of bounds. And Baniston off the block and out of bounds. And tied at 1. Miladinovich goes flat, goes long. And it's the Spartans who got it back. So Miladinovich, who finished the first set with an ace. His opening serve of the second set is long. And it'll be Andrew Dubé. He goes flat. Fanton, Miladinovich, quick set, Battison. Sim got a foot to it. But not much more than that. And it's Battison with both points for the Beach Hops so far. And it's Cull back to serve. 1 error, 1 ace in his 4 serves in the last set. Powell on the attack. Into the antenna, so out of bounds. And the Hops take the lead. The Beach Hops. Carl looking to build up a little daylight in the second set. Big spin serve from him. Powell gets to it. DeGirolamo sets to Kovalchuk. This time it's Bramwell in transition. Gives up the free ball. Quick set. Good reflex from Sim. Powell chases it down. Now in transition is the Beach Hops. Bramwell cross-court, great dig. Dubé. Kovalchuk, can he finish? No, he's on the net. Some great defending. After a rally like that, certainly some moist patches potentially needing dried up. If that's the case, I think Dubé thought he slipped on something in the last point.
Next, let's hear from Brandon Long with your all-night signature Northern League.
And it's Cull still going. Beach Hops up 4-2 now. Serve goes into the net. Chris McLaughlin back in. Goes cross court on the serve. Miladinovich sets to Bramwell from well back of the net. Still able to get some good power onto it, but now free ball. Beach Hops. Miladinovich, quick set. Battison to the floor. And the Beach Hops after that very close first set. They're rolling early. Catches a piece of the tape. Sets to Kovalchuk over top of the block and down. Kovalchuk usually brings the thunder that time. Goes for the finesse. That's Kovalchuk back to serve. A stoic look on his face. Big spin serve from him. Cull getting down the quick set. Lynch swings and misses on it. Ends up being over on the other side as Bramwell there, though, can't get it over, and it's 5-all.
5-5.
And Kovalchuk again to serve. That's 6 for 6 on the serves. No errors from him, and he really brings it too as the attack off Chris McLaughlin and out of bounds. And it is going to be Bramwell to serve. It's another serve into the net. It's 2 service errors and 3 serves for Bramwell. When you bring that spin serve, though, you're always playing with fire. Now it's Powell. He returns the favor. The Beach Chops retaking the lead, 7-6. It's Trevor McLaughlin to serve. Has an ace from the first set. This time from the back row. Awkward readjust, and Kovalchuk tried to attack it and then changed his mind and thought he would bring the tip, and it just sort of all went wrong for him on there. So it's 8-6 for the Beach Hops. And as we've seen, any little bit of daylight's been closed up. And some joking cheers from the Magnus Spartans side. McLaughlin will want that one again. A little smile, a little joke. It happens to everybody. And now it's Sim. Fanton doesn't handle it well. Ends up being an attack. Cull does get it over. Now from the back row, Kovalchuk out of bounds. Missed the point there. It's 9-7 for the Beach Hops. And it's Lynch. Awkward pass. Thought there was some interference, but not given. There was just an overpass, and I think it was within every right for the Beach Hops to go after that ball. DeGirolamo, I think, was fighting a losing battle to chase that one down. Lynch, Kovalchuk, DeGirolamo sets back to Kovalchuk down the pipe. There was a touch, so that it's a free ball. Miladinovich to the back row. Bramwell, oh my! And with that, that's a timeout. It's 11-7. The Beach Chops are cruising. Sam Cloak into the game for the first time, and he's in to serve. And he starts with an ace. Not a bad way to introduce yourself to the game. And for the first time, we see Toure Nakwezi into the game. Matt Powell coming out. Nakwezi, bright pink shoes, as this time Cloak goes into the net. Brings the average down to 50%. Grant Lynch coming back in, though, as Anthony DeGirolamo back to serve. Another big spin serve from him. Great percentage on getting those in. Bump set. Kovalchuk cross court, not a lot on that. And the set goes over Kull's head. Miladinovich, usually pretty reliable. Give a whoops, sorry about that. It's a timeout now for the Beaches. 12-9, still in charge. Here we go, back at a timeout. Anthony DeGirolamo serving. Beach Hops leading Magna Spartans 12-9. There's an over bump right at the net. Kovalchuk cannot finish. Battiston is there, and he is huge on the block. And it's Miladinovich back to serve. 2 points from taking the second set. They were up 14-11 in the first, and back came Magnus, the set. Dubé right into the block and out of bounds. This time, not so huge. And it is Dubé now. Durham and Mohawk College players, once upon a time. Played it both. Transition chance. Kovalchuk on the bump set. Beach Hops out of sorts a little bit. There was the opening, and is this another revival for the Magna Spartans? Dubé to serve. Set is to Kull. Rolls it. And the cheeky finish right down to the floor. Looks like it went off the top of the block. There's nobody there to get behind it. And on set point, 14-11 once again, Magna Spartans calling a timeout. You look at the difference in the second set. More attacking points from Beaches. Beaches have gotten 5 points off errors. Magnus have gotten 7, both sides with 1 ace. Beaches have 1 block, but it's been on the attack where Beaches have been getting their points. Each side has an ace on serve. Beaches have been missing more serves, but it hasn't cost them, as Kull chance to finish off the second set. Right into the block. Battiston is there, and that's the second set. I'm going to remember to update the sets this time. Whoops, sorry about that. And Beach Hops pick up 3 points right now, and I think that is going to do it. They have clinched the 3rd seed. They are on 10 points. The Spartans on 6. So Beaches now know they'll play Soul Machine in the semifinals next week. The Magnus Spartans will be against the Madawaska Madmen. The Spartans, though, will like to get 3 points in this 3rd set. Of course, that's 2 points for the Beaches in the 2nd set, 1 for them from the 1st, so that puts them on to 10. Magnus still on 6, wanting to finish strong though. It's a long night with 4 games, so kind of glad we had Mr. Chris McKee doing the women's games tonight, splitting the duty. He was able to get out of here a little bit earlier, and I get to save my voice a little bit. Go back out. Magnus looking to salvage 3 points from this one. Potentially, never know, win the match as well. There's Girolamo, Motherwell, Dubé, Kovalchuk, Sim, Norquezi, and Chris McLaughlin. And there's Miladinovich, Battison, Cull, Trevor McLaughlin, Jeremy Fanton, and Terrell Bramwell. And here we go, set number 3, about to get underway. Girolamo, this time, I believe that's his first service error of the match. Girolamo, pardon me, he has had a few, but he brings that spin serve, so good ratio. Norquezi into the block, and it's a 2nd point for B-Chops, just like that. First 2 points of the 3rd set. Spartans have a knack of spotting teams' early advantages. We've seen it that they can come back, but Miladinovich, Kovalchuk gets to it. Girolamo, quick set, Sim can't finish. This time, Cull the other way, into the block and out of bounds. Nope, went into the antenna first. So that's Magnus' first point of the set. And it's Kovalchuk. 6 for 6 in his serving so far today. Another big, powerful serve to the back row. McLaughlin causes a free ball now in transition. Cull right inside the attack line. Found an opening, hammers it down. That'll be Cull himself back to serve. He has an ace today. One-handed set. Was there a touch? That confused me because it's 4 hits. There was no touch.
On 4 touches. 4-1 B-Chops.
It's B-Chops Cull again. I guess that counts as an ace. And Sim almost had him fooled. Free ball. Here's a chance for Magnus again. Girolamo, quick set, Sim into the block. This time it's Dubé on the attack. Here comes a transition chance. Fanton sets A little dangerously close. That one did touch the block, and then Banison on the mistake into the net, and then a hug for Miladinovic. Motherwell back into the game. It's Luke Sim to serve. Cull. Cull from the back row. Nice kick from Kovalchuk. But Dubé puts it off the antenna. And it's the B-Chops. 5-2 lead. Wanting to finish this one quicker than they did the last two. Banison to serve. Girolamo sets. Norquezi way long. And B-Chops in control here. It's Banison again. Almost handcuffs Dubé. The sets to Norquezi again. Chance in transition. Back row call. And the point. Everything going B-Chop's way as the Spartans call a timeout. It's all mistakes right now. You look at that, 2 points on the attack of their 7, 1 on the block, and then 4 errors on the Magnus Spartans side. They're hoping that timeout will ice the server a little bit. Even if you get the point right away, it's still not out of sight yet, but they need to start rolling. They need to get those serves going like we know they can. And it's Yasmin Kull again. His team leading 7-2. Actually, pardon me, it's Banison. The bump set. Dubé not able to get much power on it, but it's a bump set from Miladinovic, and then a free ball. The Spartans sets to Norquezi. He'll take it. Spins it off the block and down. It's Norquezi himself back to serve. Easy to spot in those almost neon shoes, those pink shoes, but he puts the serve into the net. And Bramwell, he has an interesting shoe choice as well. 1 black, 1 white. Kovalchuk gets to it. The set. We'll take it. Motherwell, I think it was into his face almost. He says he got his hand to it, but the set was right there, and he just sort of shunted it over onto the other side, and it found an opening and down to the floor. Down the pipe comes Kull, but it's right out of bounds. And the Spartans able to get a few points here back to back. Dubé, Fanton, the sets to Bramwell. The set is, pardon me, not Bramwell, Matt Tull. Alex Turkowitz is into the game. Getting my names all over the place here. It's Turkowitz seeing his first action here. And it's Trevor McLaughlin serving. Nice serve from him. Girolamo sets to Kovalchuk. There's a whistle. There is a net violation. Real disagreement. It's Chris McLaughlin in to serve. He's had 3 serves, all of them in. Hasn't missed one yet. And I guess that's his first. That's the second I believe it's been a McLaughlin thing. I think Trevor missed one earlier in rather spectacular fashion. Turkowitz catches the piece of the tape. DiGirolamo on the center dump. You just almost see that in slow motion, and you think that's just tailor-made for the setter to drop that one down, and that's what he did. Now a rotation concern here. Who goes where? Who's serving? It's Oleg Kovalchuk back to serve.
Oleg Kovalchuk.
No aces, but every one of his powerful spin serves has gone in.
Is not serving.
And it's not Kovalchuk, it's DiGirolamo in. He's another one who can bring the powerful serves. He actually has 3 airs, but 1 ace. Make that 2 aces! All the B-Chops can do is stand and watch. It was a question of whether it was going long, but spun down just inside the baseline, and it's 10-8 for the B-Chops. That one, though, goes long.
Not even a blink from Terrell Bramwell. The arrow is going down. 11-8 B-Chops.
And the end is in sight for the B-Chops. Miladinovich in to serve. Floats this one. McLaughlin. DiGirolamo. Quick set sim into the block. And it's Battison again on the block.
12-8 B-Chops.
Battison has 8 points today. Make that 9. One-handed set. Kovalchuk. And from the back row, McLaughlin right down the middle. That's another timeout for the Magnus Spartans trying to sort things out here.
13-8 B-Chops is your score. Magnus has no timeouts remaining.
Battison leading all scorers with 9 points today.
B-Top substitution. Coming in as number 1, Andrew Shotbolt.
Andrew Shotbolt back in for B-Chops. Miladinovich to serve. A couple points away from taking this one. McLaughlin gets to it. The set is to Kovalchuk cross court.
Owen Kovalchuk smokes in that corner. 9 serving 13.
Time. Spartans open this time for another revival. 13-9. This time it's Kovalchuk serving. They get the rotation right. Another serve goes in, but it's handled as well. Battison, good dig from McLaughlin. Dubé off the hands, and there's another one back. And it's 13-10. So if nothing else, these Magnus Spartans are a resilient bunch. And it's Oleg Kovalchuk again. Gets another serve in. Set is to Call. Transition opportunity. Nwakwezi blocked. Dubé can't get to it, and Bramwell gets the point. That brings up match point. It's 14-10. B-Chops will want to end it here because they know how the Magnus Spartans can come back when they're on serve. Call. Sets to Dubé into the block, and that'll do it. Bramwell and Battison on the block, and that's the final. 15-11 B-Chops. We'll go through the 3 sets. They win all 3, 17-15, 15-11, and 15-10. And so it's a 6-0 sweep for the B-Chops tonight. So as I mentioned, Madawaska will play the Magnus Spartans in the semifinal, and the Beach Hops will be playing Soul Machine. So one men's game, one women's game next week on Wednesday and on Thursday. I'll get the Wednesday game. So until then, I'm Gavin Day. Thanks for joining us, everybody.